Good morning, everybody. Give yourself a shout out. First, thank you for your support, coming in, helping me out, subscribing, like button, sharing, and all of that. I appreciate it. We're almost at 800 subscribers. Some channels are huge and gigantic, but you got to start somewhere, and we're rising up. I was watching an interview or a conversation with John Alite and Gene Borrello, and they talk about Joey Merlino, and you could tell Gene just does not like Joey. And John Alite sticks up for Joey Merlino because Joey Merlino is just as crazy as Gene Borrello. So, and they're talking about what the mob is, it's washed up, Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Gene's always trying to act like, well, Joey Merlino better be careful about this or that. And John Alite's telling him, Gene, Joey Merlino, don't worry about Joey Merlino. He's treacherous. I don't know why, Gene, you're not the only treacherous guy that was out there, bro. I mean, I like you. I like some of that craziness. Yes, I like some of that craziness, but you're not the only one. Newsflash. John Alite has to put him straight once in a while. Don't worry about Joey Merlino being a punk for anybody or anything. He tried to say he got punked in prison, or he doesn't. Gene does not respect any of the Philly people. He just does not respect them. Gene does not respect any. I don't know. They're just as crazy. They could be anything, anywhere. Anybody could be anything, anywhere. Hey, Michael K. Good morning, bro. But let's just hear. Gene is always, the captain's ratted, the boss is ratted, everything ratted. Now they're like talking. Oh, if somebody says something about this or that, you better watch what you say on YouTube. These guys are telling Joey Merlino, them days are over. What are you gonna do? The last time, there was an order, was 2013, 2011. Order for a hit. Them days are over. You're just going to be on your own, a lone ranger, just going to do something just like a regular civilian and just go do a crime and just be prosecuted like Joe Schmo. Hey, Joe Ruffino.
I'll be on Field the John and Gene show.
Joe Ruffino, former boss right there. Just kidding, Joe. Just kidding. God bless you, friend. I don't mean to. Good man in the world. Let's hear this.
What's going on, everybody?
Here they are.
So I was going out looking for a boat to rent today.
Yeah, they're good.
Whatever. What's going on the internet? One I definitely want to talk about.
Well, we're going to go back at this one because let me start this off. So all over the internet, everybody was talking again about Joey Merlino, and he was warned by the bosses supposedly to get off the internet. And I got to tell you, I'm going to say it again. He's his own man. I don't think he's going to give a shit what they ask him, say to him, and he's going to do what he wants to do. And what's the ultimatum? You got to.
What's the ultimatum? They're telling Joey Merlino to get off the internet? Well, he did his time. He didn't rat. And you see these other guys that are on there. Who's giving the order to Joey Merlino? An ultimatum. You better do this. Go try to get Joey Merlino. whoever these guys are that want to, these rats that call themselves captains and bosses or whoever the hell they are. It's over. It's over, folks. It's over. You don't just keep trying to pump oxygen into, yeah, there's some guys run around guys that are still, but there's nobody ordering hits in the mob anymore. Are you people nuts? Not you people, but just people in general. All right. Yeah. Go, oh, well, he's just 5'1", but go mess with Joey Merlino. Yeah, go find him in Tampa or Philly or wherever. Go mess with him. Oh, you better stop. You better get off of this. Yes, I feel the same sentiments about the mobsters, the made guys that are on YouTube. I feel them same sentiments that, now you're on a YouTube. I feel those sentiments and none of those made guys should be on YouTube. I feel those sentiments, but in the same breath, go confront Joey Merlino with somebody. Got an ultimatum on Joey Merlino, do this, do that. Joey Merlino don't care. Just like Gene Borrello don't care, John Alite don't care. Go search those crazies out. And these guys that are like sitting on their thrones trying to perpetuate like a mob order or a mob ultimatum. Come on, man.
Kinds of guys doing, breaking every rule around, and they're not going to do anything about it. What are they going to do to him when he's got his own guys down there, his own crew of guys that grew up with him? And nobody's going to turn on him down there because I know these guys, and if they do, they're going to turn right back on any guy that turns on him.
Well, my opinion is that if the guy that they're stating, which his name is Barney, I particularly had a situation with his crew and them, and Barney's a very serious guy. He beat a double homicide in the 80s.
What Gene Borrello is going to be alluding to here is like, this other guy he's talking about is like, Gene Borrello's like, well, he better be careful about this guy or that guy. And John Alite will set some straight on that. He's trying to, Gene just loves the action and he really doesn't like Joey Merlino. My view on it, watch the old videos of their videos. And he just, he wants to see Joey Merlino get attacked. And John Alite saying, Gene, it's not going to happen. And they better watch. And you better be careful. You better be careful with this Joey Merlino. You better be careful. People, there's haters of these guys. And they on this soap opera mob talk and all this, there's haters of these people that try to illegitimize, if that's a word, or discredit them on different areas. When you made it to that higher ranking, or you were made in that, they had a good enough resume, okay? So you soap opera Monday morning quarterbacks and your Mike Francis fans and all them that cooperated. I mean, you all look at it through a different lens. Mike Francis, the mafia prince. Yeah, he's a princess. Mike Francis, the mafia prince. Yeah. Yeah, they need to leave Barney's name out of this. Thank you, Carmela. Yeah. This is an entire yeah, see, Gene is trying to crap on it. And John Alite knows for a fact. So all the stuff Gene is saying, because Gene is just speaking out of contentious dislike for the guy. John Alite, smooth as silk. Some people like him, some people don't. But he's smooth as silk. Dapper the Rapper. Good morning. Carmela, Michael K. But yeah, that's they're talking about these mafia bosses and ratting and everything, and then they come out and do channels, and then in this exchange between John and Gene, they even say, well, look at the most notorious recognizable name in the world, Sammy the Bull Gravano. So nobody's gonna go do. There hasn't been I don't think there's been a mob hit order since 2011 or 2013. It's 2024. I don't think there's been a mob hit or 2009, 2011 or 2013. It's a soap opera, but we love the action. The Kansas City Chiefs parade. Oh, God bless those people. David BMX, good morning. Man, that's crazy. What happened for at the Kansas City Super Bowl parade? Wow. Now, I don't mean to I don't mean to disrespect or anything or the violence and the sorrow that happened at that parade. I believe 1 dead, 20 injured. And now you can donate to the victims. Kansas City, why don't you just handle that? The ownership of the Kansas City Chiefs. Why don't you, just like Hawaii and Oprah Winfrey and The Rock with their hand out, well, why don't you guys just cover that? And, donate to the Kansas City victim. Well, the owner's a billionaire. A billionaire. Why you always got to be in the people's pockets? Why? Donate to the victims. You donate, Kansas City. You players and managers and corporate donate. The Wolf's in here. You donate to the victims. Come on. What are you hear? What are you saying? Come on now. Come on. What are you hearing? What are you saying? I'll meet you at the corner in a half an hour. Oh, donate to the victims fund for the really? There's 20 victims. Well, let me see. $500,000 to each family. Okay, that's 10 million. That's pocket change for these guys. 10 million should cover it's a package deal. 10 million should cover it. Taylor Swift, why don't you donate to it? We got to look at your puss every game. Why don't you donate to it? You're a jinx. That's what you truly are. And I'm only going to, I don't want to. All the people, the economy, people are struggling, everything else. And what do these scumbag in the entertainment, talk show, The Rock, Oprah Winfrey, NFL sports, which is a fixed joke these days. It's like the WWF. And what do they always got their hand out? When the country's struggling in economic times, and what do they got their hand out? Oh, please donate to the victims fund. Patrick Mahomes, what do you make? 500 million? I like the kid, good kid, but you got a $500 billion sitting over there from the top down. Donate to the victims fund. Give each one of them $1 million. That's 20 million. No, they want to put it on the people, the suckers. You're a sucker if you donate to that. Well, Joe, that's to a good cause. You're a sucker. Straight sucker. You'd be better off going into the streets and give the money to a homeless person without any judgment. Without any judgment. You want to donate to something? Go get them a coffee and a hamburger or something and hand deliver it to them. You want to do something you want to do something fruitful and spiritual and meaningful instead of this hocus pocus NFL and the parade and the victims and all of that. We went from Joey Merlino to the Super Bowl parade. Burns me up. Well, TV and network TV is really fallen. I don't know if it ever had any grace, but it's fallen from grace even more. I'm 60 years old. Are there just generations of suckers? You 20-year-olds, are you just woke suckers? You 30-year-olds, are you just suckers? Excuse me. Oh, somebody. What are you guys, just prissies? Come on. Maybe it's not that way, but media just tries to portray society that way, and maybe it's really not that way. They want to make you believe that it's all woke and prissied up, but 80% of the people in the streets aren't buying it. They're not buying it. Anybody with common sense is just like, wow, that's a bunch of gibberish. Oh, Dopra Winfrey, why don't you donate to those victims, huh? You're such a humanitarian. And The Rock. You're huge media stars. They're bums. They're straight bums. Anybody that donates to them, they should go broke. You should go broke. You donate to them bums. Kansas City victims. Oh, is that bizarre? What I'm saying is it shouldn't come down to them having their hand out to the public. Donate to the victims fund. Just retards. Just the dumbing down of America. I wrote a paper out on it in college, my first college term when I was 17, 18. And at 40, 50, I wrote the dumbing down of America. Then it's accelerated even worse in today's era. One of my professors said, quite interesting, Joe, but I don't think it'll, yeah, another woke retard. I said, you're my professor, but you don't have any knowledge on me, sir. You just got a title. Well, that's a little extreme. No, you'll see it in the turn of the century, 2010, 2020, you'll see it. You start to see how they position, they'll set the table, boom, and then stay sucker free, Carmela. So, hey, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I'm almost at 800 subscribers. That's crazy. Little old me. Let's give you guys an applause. And if there's any haters, come on in. Put something in the comment. I want some insult. I want some insults. No, Wolf. One of my buddies used to say, Injun Joe. Oh, is that politically correct? Sicilian. Let's give you guys, let's give you guys an applause. Here's a commercial. There's a freaking commercial. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, you guys. Yeah. Small channel, but a small channel getting bigger. And I don't care about them guys' numbers, Mike Francis, whatever. We're just trying to be entertaining. That's all. We just try to be entertaining. I'm getting to 800. And after that, I guess it's 1,000. Then 2, then 4, then 6, and 8. And it's all because of you guys coming in and helping me out. We got a wolf in sheep's clothing here, and then we have Wolf's View. Are you guys related? Are you from the same pack? Wolfpack Jack? We need a Wolverine, that's for sure. We got some cold weather up here. Got some snow, but man, winter, another month, we'll be out of it. and it'll be good. I'm gonna go with my phone and show a spot, like I said, but I want to do better video. Just a hypothetical thing. Oh, Carmelo, you're planting palm trees? Must be nice, huh? A hypothetical situation, and just hypothetical, that I want to take my phone and go to an area and do that. And I'm also going to send that letter to Alphonse Persico and see how he feels about this rodent, Mike Francis, putting this calling himself a boss. So I've already did that, composed a letter to Alphonse Persico, and put it plain and simple. Hey, maybe you don't care, Alphonse, do your time, or I just want to hear your remarks, and that's all. How do you feel? Like, did you just give up any honor and integrity and loyalty and just says, well, I'm 70 years old now, I don't care about it, the mafia's done. If these guys are on social media, let them rock and roll. If he wants to call himself a boss of my family, then let him. Or I don't know. He might get pissed off about it. Chris Sullivan, new here. Hi, Chris Sullivan from Otago, New Zealand. I just went international, folks. I just went international. Thank you, Chris Sullivan. All right. Carmela says, if the mafia is done, then I'm the Queen of England. How are you, Your Highness? The mafia is done, Cinderella. You play a character on Sopranos. Sorry, Cinderella, Your Highness. The mob is done. Accept it. Accept it. Anybody that's running around, the mob is done. You know why? Because there hasn't been a sanctioned order hit in a decade and a half. Okay? Mob is done. Well, that doesn't mean just because there wasn't a hit that you could say the mob is done. The new mob is the government. They're running the rackets. What is the mob doing? If the mob's not done, what's the mob doing? What are they doing? If the mafia still exists, what are their duties and responsibilities? What are they doing? Go, you only drugs. Drugs. Go to the pharmacy. They're your drug dealer. Gambling rackets. Go to the casino. Go to DraftKings. Go to what's their rackets? What are they running? Go back to Hollywood. I get a little immature over here. Sorry about that. Thank you, Chris, for coming in with your good Terra, casinos, etc. Sunday, I do so many other videos. I talk to my people on Sunday. And, getting back to John Alite and Gene, Gene has this just disregard for Joey Merlino, but I guess when Joey Merlino got in that dispute with Mike Francis, and then I don't know, Joey Merlino got taken off of YouTube or something, but I don't want to tread there because I just want to stay within the guidelines if I can here. But when Gene is trying to say, oh, this guy, that guy, John Alite's saying all the captains and bosses cooperated. So where's your integrity, Gene? Where's your Cosa Nostra? Where's the oath, the omerta? Where is it? You're talking about your loyalty to authority that broke the oath. So John straightens him out on that. Gene knows that. Gene's smart enough to know that, but he still wants to put jabs in because he does not recognize the Philly mob as being that much. I'm born in Brooklyn, and I would have allegiance to the Columbos in New York, but I do not discredit Philly. Them, I don't discredit them just because they're not in New York. And John Alite reiterates that. So there's no loyalty left. There, your YouTube channels got the failures and the rats there. That's living proof. That's Exhibit A. So then in the same breath, you're going to have a narrative about a guy that ratted underneath these guys. Your boss is ratted. So is it such a flagrant foul? Is it such a disgrace that's an underlink ratted? Chris Breeder. Chris Sullivan, what was the downfall of the mob? Not drugs. Politically, structurally, the RICO Act, when you started giving back then, when you started just handing out 20-year sentences and life sentences, that was the first step that brought it down. And then rats became, ratting and that was out of control. And you lost the true dedication and loyalty when the feds are handing life sentences or go rat on somebody. Their drugs alone couldn't bring the mob down. But the families, whether historical accounts on Mob Talk or anything like that, they say, well, this family frowned on drugs. The families dealt drugs. So we're past that. They're drugs all over the place. My godfather, I don't think I mentioned this, my godfather that did work for the Colombo family, there was warehouses, the Manhattan garment industry, Manhattan with the garments and all that, they got warehouses. There was buildings that were stash places that would have clothes on racks, clothes and dresses and designer for the garment industry, and then in some other back other side be filled up with drugs. Some families were trying to, were they trying to have honor? Well, we didn't deal drugs. No, you committed murders, but we're not drug dealers. We're murderers, but we're not drug dealers. Okay. My godfather was protecting a guy that I didn't like, a weasel. My godfather was protecting a guy I didn't like, and he had a ton of stuff stored over there, and I didn't like him because he wasn't compensating my godfather. In my eyes, he wasn't compensating him enough, and then my godfather, just being right, said it's not my place to speak on that or address it, because my godfather could handle his own affairs. He don't need little old me to say, oh, he's not giving you enough. Well, he got him a car, and Jojo, you're gonna have to come see this car. This Jerry, I'll call him Jerry. This Jerry bought me a car. Good, Minky. He finally came up for air. Wow, all right, that's a good gesture. So I go to New York and I see this car. It's a junker. It's a junker. I said, well, Mickey, what's going on? You know, this is a junker. Oh, don't start with that, blah, blah, blah. I said, wow, what a slap in the face. But he slapped me. Boom. He said, I said, oh, no, it's a nice car. It looks a nice car. You want me to wash it for you? Oh. But drugs was all over. Drugs didn't have nothing to do with bringing the mafia down. No. The RICO Act and rats brought the mafia down. RICO hyphen RICO / rats. Rats, rodents, rats. Your YouTube mob heroes all together now. Rats. They got great stories. Great stories. Great stories. Yeah. Great stories. They were stashing. Well, I gotta figure out. I gotta watch what I say. Well, it's safe to say that probably when the feds took in all these properties and money and drugs, what did they do with said recovery items? What did they just use your imagination? I don't know. I mean, you know. Now weed is legal. I sold a lot of. I moved a lot of weed back in the day. Dodging that there was an illegal search on me with weed, and it got thrown out because it was an illegal search by these two clowns they call Batman and Robin. Two detectives, God rest their souls, those bums. But everything's legal now. Everything's legal. The government is the new mob. But RICO shouldn't have brought the mob down. People just handle their business generationally from father, from grandfather, or let's just say great-grandfather, grandfather, son, diminished. With loyalty, was it culturally or many different factors? Fear of doing life in prison, a lot of different contributing factors. You can all argue one or the other, but this mob talk stuff in a generation will diminish. The dinosaurs will be all gone. It'll just diminish like a whisper in the wind. Poof, all done. Party over. I don't know why. I gotta say it again. I don't know why. Chris, I just talk about old mob stories. I wasn't a made guy. I hung around guys. Interesting things that happen. And I just try to check out my old videos. I just try to give a narrative on some things, tell some crazy stories. They might be true. They might be lies. This, if you're not familiar with this mob talk genre, Chris Sullivan, thank you for joining. But it's a rodeo. Who can be entertaining? Who can tell the best lies? Who could tell the truth? Who can lie? It's entertainment. I made myself nuts. I mean, you know, Mike, Francis, you make yourself nuts, but then you got to step back and say, it's just entertainment. He's got 8 million subscribers. I got 500. Well, you know, I'm a better entertainer than him. I'm confident. I'm a better talk show host than him. I don't care what the numbers say. I just wait for the world to catch up to me. Got to be confident, Chris. in anything that you want to address, any goals, dreams, aspirations, all you people got to be confident. You might not be there yet in what you set out to do, but stay steadfast in it and let the world catch up to you. So I cover a lot of things. I ramble on about different things, and people don't like to hear that the mafia is all done. The government runs all the rackets. It ain't a matter of, I mean, it comes down to some people, Chris, are just interested in the true historical account of the mafia. I try to defend that. And other people don't care about the true historical account of the mafia. They just want entertainment. They want a good story that can put you to bed like a baby with a bottle, and you could slumber off with a good bedtime story, fairy tale. To each his own. I give it all to you. I give it all. So, and then, with that being said, my good folks, let's give them all. Chris Sullivan, Wolf's View, Tara, Chris Breeder, Carmela, Michael Candinas, Mario Mendez, Carmela, Joe Ruffino, Leon Swan, David BMX, Dapper the Rapper, Michael Candinas. Now, with that being said, well, you said something about the true historical account. The truth serum. Where would we find that true historical account? In the FBI proffers? Is that the go-to to get factual information? Well, go look up those proffers where 95% of those are blacked out. So now what are you left with? Speculation. Okay? Speculation. There are things that the feds do not want to be in public record. The Freedom of Information Act come out, and yes, you can go access and petition to look at the files, but nonetheless, all that stuff's redacted. Well, I don't know what you mean, Chris, by saying no, it's not. I wasn't a made guy, Chris. I don't want to be a made guy. It's my godfather was an enforcer for the Colombos and other families. But I will never be, I don't want to be made. I don't want to be made. And then you got to go risk your life doing crimes, risk your freedom doing crimes, and then go, oh, here, Captain, here's my take for the day. No. I just made my little money. They paid me. I was educated in business, in many academic fields, highly educated, and I was trying to be a salesman in an office, selling steel and making money there. And I was just running errands, like delivering bread and milk, just an errand boy. I don't want to be made. I had my hand out here. I had my hand out. Pay me for my little actions I'm doing, and not going like this, handing them money. No. I thought that was sucker. Just be your own criminal in the street. You're going to risk your freedom. Just go be your own one-man show. That's all. Most of them guys were degenerate gamblers. They blew their money anyways. They got paid on Saturday. They were broke after the Monday night football game. They were broke, borrowing money all over the place. I just try to give a little narrative, like this Mike Francis. I've bashed him a million times. He calls himself a mob boss, and many. And I don't know how some of these knuckleheads still say, he never said mafia boss in his titles or thumbnails or on these newscasts. Well, if he never said it, he never corrected them when they publicized it. He never corrected it. So, don't play word games with certain vernacular that you want to use and all that. I'm a wordsmith and highly educated, and I can navigate the English language just fine. So don't just hang your hat on. Well, he never corrected it in 80 media interviews via newspaper, print, TV, or speaking publicly. And then you just see that last video. Mike Francis, a mafia boss, gets the key to the city from the mayor of Miami. This self-proclaimed mob boss getting the key to the city. I thought if you're in the mafia and being a mob boss, you want to stray away from government officials, especially a mayor. You don't even want to jaywalk down the street, but yeah. He's just a Hollywood guy. He's a Hollywood boss in his own world. His own world. He's in Hollywood, Los Angeles. He's in La La Land, and he's his in his own mind. He's a boss in his own mind. So I bash him a lot too, and I don't promote all that, you know. Carmela says he's the true meaning of racketeering. He's a great freaking charlatan, a great charlatan. He does it the best. In defense to Mike Francis, you watch one of his videos, when the video's done, you better see if you still got your socks and underwear on and your credit card, because it'll be gone. Honey, where's my card? Well, you're watching that Mike Francis videos again. What happened to my underwear and socks? I told you, honey, stop watching that Mike Francis. He'll have your freaking socks and underwear. Hey, Francis. So he's the best at making that money. And if you're going to be in organized crime and doing anything, well, then he's a very successful moneymaker. Yeah. He knows that a sucker is born every minute, but a lot of times when it comes to these people, most of these bosses and captains and people in that life are dead. Mike urinates on them with his bull crap. Or they're doing life in prison, like Alphonse Persico. And there's nobody to defend them. I have allegiance to my godfather, who was more connected to the Colombo family. And that's kind of like my team, of course. I said it before. But if you're going to be talking mob talk and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, well, there's nobody to say, wait, hold on here, Mike. Hold on. Where's all your friends and buddies in the mob? Where's all your stories? What club did you hang out down in Brooklyn? What, you had an office in Manhattan, a Pee Wee Herman Poindexter accountant. Google it. Look up his pictures in Manhattan. Google it. Poindexter comes on there like he's a shot caller in the mafia. Come on, man. But he's a good bullcrap artist, and he makes the money. So at the end of the day, he's the king of the circus, because he knows that Joe Blow YouTube viewers, well, they'll buy the swampland. Yeah. And then that Chaz Palminteri, 2 peas in a pod. Chaz Palminteri. Mike, he played a mob guy. Mike Francis. By the way, Chaz played a mob guy. Tommy Sticks, good morning from North Jersey. Where you been, my man? Newsflash. Chaz Palminteri played an actor like Francis. He's an actor. They're selling girly wine. It's got a good 7-year bouquet, 1977 circa. Yeah. Sonny. Oh, that's, you know. Yeah. Chaz. Disgraziato. Good to hear from you, Tommy Stiggs. I'm just a small guy. I like to rock and roll and everything, and then just have fun. Have fun. I likes to be social. I likes to be sociable. Yeah, I likes to be sociable. That's all. But he's very successful at being very, very, very successful at making money. So that's what we're up against. That's what we're up against. If that's the meaning of being in the mob, well, that's the meaning. If you just base it on that, no honor, no respect, just make money. Well, I don't know what criteria is used to consider a guy a real gangster or not. But then when it comes to social media, it's a total rodeo anyway. So, I mean, that's all there is to it. I want to see what Alphonse Persico. Now, I said I don't mean to disrespect Persico, any descendants, or anything for that matter. But you got a boss doing life in prison, an hour and a half from me, drive. And I want to see what he has to say about a guy on social media that puts in his titles, undisputed titles and thumbnails, and on public media interviews, former mob boss. I'm just curious to what a boss of that family would have to say. Well, Jojo, I don't care about it. Let him call himself anything. That life is over. I'm an old man now. I'm just going to do my time out in here and die in prison because he never ratted. Did Mike Francis rat? Okay. So you look at it both ends of the spectrum. We're not going to talk about the rat game and all that because it just turned upside down. Well, under no circumstances you're just supposed to rat in the mob. Well, that's so easy to say for armchair quarterbacks, but you're going to do 7 to 12 and you're sitting there thinking, oh, Johnny, he got me. He ratted on me. The feds came to me and said, you want to get this guy? And I held my head up high and I didn't. And I says, no, I don't want to cooperate. In the meantime, my buddy over here, he's sticking it to me. And now I'm sitting in here doing 7 to 12. How would you folks feel about that? My loyalty to the mob and the oath I took, or screw this, I'm going to keep my freedom. So is your loyalty to the mob, or is it to your wife and children when you're trying to have integrity for this organized crime organization, or be with your family? So we could all be armchair quarterbacks. That's all. I was in certain situations. I was nobody, but I was in certain situations where some of them tried to trick me and say, "Oh well, this or that," and then they try to mess with your head and make you trip up or use fear or anything. And just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I run an office. I'm a steel salesman. I don't know what you're talking about. That's all. I'm not doing any violent crimes or conspiracies or anything like that. But Tommy Stig Social Club, if you signed up for it, the betrayal going in. Yeah. Brothers ratted on brothers. Okay. Brothers. Father ratting on a son ratting on a father. Wild, just wild stuff. I don't know. Thank you, Tommy, for coming in here. People try to talk smack about you. I'm not like that. I don't like, people that could sit back and that were never around any guys. See, you get a different perspective. You look at things through a different lens. Being around gangsters in that life, or just a civilian perceiving it, you're going to have probably totally different perceptions and feelings and thoughts about things that happen. and whether you approve of it or disapprove of it. Civilians say, well, nobody should just rat and everything, blah, 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 blah. You know, my opinion doesn't count on it because everybody's different. Everybody's different. There's different situations when people get pinched, and it's not just one blanket situation, you know. Philly Bob, how you doing, brother? I think that the viewers of this genre and mob talk, they only get so much information from their mob channel heroes, and then whatever anybody else has to say has to stay in line and match up with their other YouTube mob heroes. And if it doesn't line up to what these other guys said, then you're wrong and you shouldn't say this or that. So you're going to get that on this rodeo mob talk. You're just going to get that. If your narrative doesn't line up with Mike Francis or Sammy the Bull or Gene or Joey and Mickey and Mike. So, you know, that's all. That's all. Wolf's View, I don't even know what you're talking about. But adios, amigo. Adios. I don't even know what you're talking about. So you get things from different perspectives, and that's understandable. But the Joe YouTuber, the viewer, is going to look at things through a different lens. That's all. It doesn't make sense. You see the fallout from this stuff. You see more personal what happens, and then you can talk smack about this. I think Mike Francis tells great stories and very interesting, and yeah, successful moneymaker. But like I said before, my only bone of contention is you can't sit up there and just call yourself a boss. Or if you're being interviewed and the media says former mafia boss, why did you correct them? It happened 77 times in 40 years. How come you never corrected them? Because you just like to ride that shine because you're a racketeer. No kidding, Joe. So I might have my views on this stuff because there's nobody to defend them. These other guys, there's nobody to defend them. And he's a cutie pie over there with his bull crap. You try to give yourself rank if you're a private and you call yourself a general in any organization, you get booted. You get booted. You hear there's only one way out of the mob in a pine box or prison and all that. It's all malleable now, Chris. It's malleable. That's all. Sammy the Bull Gravano is out of it. Mike Francis is out of it. They're not there. They're not in for life. There's 1,000 other guys. The mob's over. What do you mean? You're in it for life. The mafia's done, Chris. The mafia's done. There ain't no life. Government, the United States government is the mob. Now they got a pension plan, right, Carmela? They got a pension plan. So I'm going to try to get to Alphonse Persico. I'm going to send a letter out and give him the information, and I don't know, see what he has to say. You have the real boss doing life in prison. You have a guy on social media who he was the boss of, claiming in his thumbnails to be the boss. You got a guy that cooperated, claiming to be the boss, and the real boss sitting in the penitentiary. You know why? You see how that's why I get a little aggravated? You know, that's just the way it is. You can't. You can't. It's a flagrant foul. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. It boggles my mind. So, well, we're gonna leave this under an hour. I hope. Hey, Dutchman. Hey, good to have you in here, Mr. H. Mr. H. Do you think Mike Francis is sincere about Christianity, praying for his enemies? Not at all. He's got the Church of Mike over there. You know, then, you know, he had the epiphany. He was doing in solitary confinement. He read about, yeah. He's the best racketeer. He's the best bullcrap artist. Hey, that's his own prerogative. He has a right. People want to donate. Then yeah, good for Mike Francis. Good. People are so gullible, and you know, they're gullible. And the Church of Mike. Well, thank you, Philly Bob. This guy's got all the money. Let's look at this. Well, okay, whatever he proclaimed he made, 8 million a week, 12 million a week in the gas scheme. And now he has the Church of Mike. Why? For a tax shelter. Why isn't he ever doing any turkey drives or things for the homeless or breaking ground for a center for the downtrodden and the underdogs? Christian, Christ, Jesus Christ, he didn't go hang out in the temples. Jesus Christ went to the downtrodden. So, Mike Francis, you're a Christian? You want people to donate to the Church of Mike. What are you giving back to society? What are you giving back to society? Are you breaking ground on a homeless shelter out there? The homeless are getting closer to your fortress. Have you noticed the streets of Hollywood and LA? All the homeless? Have you did anything in good faith for your community? Or is it like this with both hands? Gimme, 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 and send to the Church of Mike. Well, what is the Church of Mike doing for society and the downtrodden? Zero. But he tells good stories on YouTube, whether they're true or false. So, John Alite, keep up the good work. Gene, crazy, hates Joey Merlino. He's just never going to like Joey Merlino. But you know as well as I do, Gene, Joey Merlino's not backing down from anybody. And don't try to say that somebody's going to try to get Joey Merlino and all that. John Alite told you on that show that it ain't going to happen. You want to take a chance and go after Joey Merlino and foul up? No, there ain't no guys. There's nobody making hits. There's nobody doing hits. You know. Yeah, I like John and Gene Philly Bob. I like that. You know, people hate them. People hate John Alite. They hate Gene. You know. But you're gonna get that. People hate people hate me. That's all. That's the way it goes. So you haven't made it until somebody hates you. All right. All right. So that's it. I thank you, good people. There's the button. Subscribe, share, like. We're gonna be over 800. We're gonna go to 1,000. The book link, the Cash App, like button, notification. Any way you could support with just hitting like. Good enough for me. I appreciate it all. I wish wealth and prosperity for all the people that come in here, even the haters. I want everybody to rise up. So be the kings and queens of your world. don't ever give up, folks. You know how I say it. Stay strong and steadfast. The world is a vampire. It wants the blood, but no, we can rise up. This is just mob talk, jibber jabber stuff. Thanks, mate, for the show. And I like harness racing too over there in New Zealand. I like the harness racing, horse racing. So the world is a vampire, but we're from royal DNA. Mob talk, blah 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 blah, boom boom boom. That's one thing. But we all have our own life in the regular world, in the real world, not the fake mob world, YouTube, mafia, jibber jabber. We all have real things going on in our lives. There might be crises, there might be mental health problems, there might be addictions, there's stressors and everything else. So, all right, cheers to you, Wolves. I tried to block you, but if you're going to be nice, that's all right. I put you back in. So thanks for watching, Wolves. I'm not a hater, So that's that. Tune in again. We'll try to keep going to 1,000 subs, and I hope everybody rises up and accomplish your goals. So we'll do it again, and I really appreciate your support. And I'm a little immature. Hate me, insult me over it, but we got to give you guys an applause. So. Sir, yes, sir. All present and accounted for. Nothing. My mind is nuts. I can't keep up with the comments, Wolves. You're new here. My mind gets a little crazy, but thank you for coming in, supporting me, and I'm a little crazy. I do have a brain injury. Okay, read my book. I wrote a real great book. Okay, yeah. So. We'll tune in, and I'll keep updating on Alphonse Persico, and I really want to get to him. And Moali, thank you. I'm the boss. I'm the self-proclaimed boss of the Colombo family. It shrieks me to just say that. These guys say it just so willy-nilly. It's like, ugh. So I'm going to try to do that. I hope he's receptive. Pray for me, because there's my Cash App. I need gas money. I gotta get to see him. And if he just says, Joe, keep it personal, don't go on there and everything, I gotta respect it. And then I'm gonna tell him I will never use the Persico name in any thumbnails or anything in according to that. I'll totally respect that. The poor guy's doing life in prison at 70 years old. There's nobody out there to defend the name of the family and everything else. So that's where I get a little peed off at. There's nobody out there. I'm sure there's people telling him in prison, Mike Francis is saying this and that and this and that. And I don't know how he receives that or how he takes it, how he says that. Does he say that? No good lying rat, ba, 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 ba. Or does he say, well, who cares? I'm going to find out one way or another. I want to do that much for the Colombo family. So thank you, folks. I appreciate it. Subscribe and all that stuff. You guys know all that stuff. The links are all there. So till next time, God bless y'all. Stay great, and I'll talk to you then.